5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Midheaven podcast. My name is Candace Marie and this is my little wizard buddy.
The Peace Dealer, and before you're shocked on the title, I have sanctioned and approved this as the resident token black here. And I know Biden said, you know, I'm not black, but I still have a few months before my black card expires. So it is what it is. And welcome to this very monumental classic episode that we're gonna have right here.
White woman witchcraft.
White woman witchcraft.
If you can't, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say because there's different types of witchcraft, but I don't know if you've done witchcraft if you haven't done white woman.
Arts and crafts. That's what we're gonna go. The arts and crafts episode. Mike and Candace make a candle. It'll either be that or white woman witchcraft, whatever. Right. I'm not trying to get canceled, so whatever. Welcome to semi-homemade witchcraft in my kitchen.
Yeah, so we're in the kitchen now too. It's a change of pace.
Yeah,
so.
we're just gonna slowly rotate around the house until we can find a studio that wants to sponsor us.
Hey, that's a good. In fact, you might even see us do candle work to manifest that.
Yeah,
today,
yeah. So you guys were asking, actually we put it out there, we said, what do you guys want to know more about? How can we make, new, different, fun episodes? Obviously, if you haven't seen our summer jam episode, check that out. It was fun, we shot it in the pool.
Yep, but still relevant.
Very relevant. That's relevant through September. Don't slip on that video. Actually, the videos have been getting better and better and better. So by the time you see this, it's been probably a couple of weeks, but we really appreciate your guys' support. Obviously, we love you guys so much. We love it when you chime in. We love seeing you guys on the lives.
Before you see us on Jimmy Kimmel and we're famous, thank you for holding us down.
That's right. I mean, he's got a North Node transit happening on his sun and then his ascendant.
Right.
Jupiter and Saturn are hovering around my North Node in the 5th, so I'm just waiting for that hocus pocus reality gig because I have a feeling it's just gonna go poof.
I got Uranus on my Venus too, so that's unexpected
Exactly conjunct?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm born with that. Welcome to my life.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my conjunction. But I've had Uranus trine my Venus for the last couple of years. It's been real fun.
I've been weirder than ever when it comes to the full out relationships with my imaginary girlfriends since it's in the 12th.
Right, but it's also
I'm breaking up with her.
Oh, you are? You're gonna get a real one?
We broke up, yeah. I told her I want something real.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, we're gonna help Mike get something real today. We're gonna get real fucking witchy. But you guys were asking about magic episodes or episodes that are more occulty, metaphysical things. So we still have a couple of fun ideas that we're putting together for you. This is just one of the many. Right. Obviously, if you have anything that you want to see us do, please comment, subscribe, leave it down below, and you can also check out our community page and you can give us recommendations and things that you want us to make videos about. Obviously, it's not astrology, but it's astrology related because we're going to talk about how working with the planets can actually make real magic happen. Mm-hmm. That's my MO. So before we even get started, I'm going to say this. Magic is all inclusive in this sphere. It's going to vary, obviously, practitioner to practitioner. We respect your views, how you do things. Everybody's different. Want to keep it super respectful because there's going to be a lot of people who may see this and they may not agree. There's going to be people who are going to do things differently. As far as I'm concerned, magic is all about intention, and so we're going to do positive intention magic today. We're not going to do any of that nasty stuff, but we will talk a little bit about how this works, and we'll talk a little bit about maybe the ethics of some of that stuff, at least from my perspective. I am kind of a soul practitioner. I have trained with all kinds of people. I've worked with shamanic priests, I've worked with voodoo priests, I've worked with root workers who are my friends, and I have a lot of respect for obviously that culture and where that comes from, and just the fact that it's actually not mine, but it's something that I really appreciate and I've learned a lot from.
And just to speak on that, when I first met Candace, that's what made me feel at home and like really just so like impressed or just like mind blown, because my introduction to this field of magic was Santeria or Palo Mayombe. So 2012, I would say a couple years before I met her, like I was initiated in this, but I never really had a mentor to really, you know, I never got my Mano de Orula, I never really got my El Agua. And so the next time I really saw this, you know, every now and then I would meet people who would kind of like take money from people to kind of do spell work and stuff. But when we did that episode for Lada, and I saw you had all this material, I'm like, wow, who's this white girl with all this like connection to the ancestors? And like, I mean, I didn't see you as like a white girl. I saw you as like, you know, a priestess, like, you know, respecting the culture and like actually know what you're doing. Like that concept was just really fascinating. And
yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just, for me, it's really interesting because magic across the board, like, it doesn't really matter what culture it comes from. Like, I have family that's Romanian, I have family that's Scot-Irish. I have a lot of friends, having lived in LA for like 15 years, who are Latino, and they've taken me to go and see babalaos and shamans and all kinds of readers and people who read shells and bones and tortoise shells. And I will never ever stop my quest in learning more about magic. And it's not something that I really showcase a lot in my work. I talk a lot about tarot, I talk a lot about clairvoyant stuff and visions that I have, dream interpretations, astrology, obviously, but this is the one thing I have yet to really kind of touch on, at least in internet land.
Right.
And I really feel like astrology and ritual go hand in hand, and we'll talk a little bit about that, especially when we start to kind of realize that we're already working with those planetary energies. And you can do magic with a fucking birthday candle. I have seen magic happen in the most desperate of situations. I am not one of those practitioners who's going to turn up my nose and tell you that if you don't have this, and that, it's not going to work.
And that's why I really appreciate you having Pluto on your sun, because like what I really learned about, especially astrology, like once we step into Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, now like the whole notion of magic is organized. Like you're so complex with the knowledge, and it helped me realize like there's, for example, energy and then technique. Like you could just do the energy raw, or you can use the energy to form a technique. And that's what I really notice is the difference between you and me, whereas we're both really good at what we do, but you have a much more like systematic, complex understanding that I've always wanted to learn. Like I don't have this in my chart. And the reason why I'm very excited is I've had direct results with calling on the planets and doing magic. Like I've set, and I like you said, it's intent. I've set intent for certain dollar amounts, for certain experiences, and it's happened. But what I haven't had are the techniques to make it consistent and to actually organize it. And I feel like that's what this is.
Oh, well, my OCD ass, I'm all over it.
So it's like I know that it works, but I feel like with this, I can take what works instead of it being like hit or miss to just hit every time.
And I'm super excited because since I like moved and got everything organized, and now I've got like a whole closet and I have a cabinet, and I was excited to kind of like unpack everything and
it's like Hogwarts in here.
I know. Welcome to our magical school of witchcraft and wizardry.
Word.
Are you ready? You know what you need to do to get started. I have a gift for you.
Oh.
Okay, but you have to wear it.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so here is your hat.
Yes. I wish I brought my wand with me.
Oh, well, I have that too. Oh, magic is real. I've got a little beard for you. You don't have to wear it the whole time, but
I will wear it. I don't care. I'm gonna put it over the hat.
You look like Black Santa. Okay, I think it goes over.
Oh, you're right.
I think it's like like that. There you go. Yeah, you're a wizard. Here's your wand. It makes like bippity boppity noises.
Bippity bop.
No, it does.
Oh, it really does.
You gotta.
Yes.
Oh my God.
More
Okay.
barbecue sauce. Extra crispy chicken.
Fuck, we're gonna get roasted on this one. I'm crying right now. A bitch is gonna start getting shiny. Stop. Okay.
Word.
Ooh. You don't have to wear like the. Do you want to take the old man? Okay. If you want it off, I was just afraid you were gonna eat it or something.
Yeah. I kind of like the beard. It brings out my cat moon.
So. Okay, so. First of all, let's talk a little bit about Kindle Magic and just the intention. Perfect. The intention of working with the candle is just to find a way to almost have like a vessel to release that intention or release that energy. Candles are going to come in a variation of sizes and materials. We just have soy basically ones here today. Obviously, just a personal preference. I opt either for soy or more natural candles or even beeswax candles. It's just a preference of mine because I don't like using paraffin and I don't like using anything that is not natural. Basically, the name of the game when doing this type of work is natural, and you'll see that throughout the products that we use today.
May I get the beer opener?
You mean your wand can't open that?
My wand opener. Boom. Yes.
Do you want me to hold your wand for you?
Please. And you know why she calls me Black Santa? 'Cause I got the ho-ho-hos.
It's fucking Christmas in July.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, there you go. There's your wand back.
Opener spell right there.
So today, yeah, we're just using regular pillar candles. Be careful, obviously, when you're working with candles or any open flames. Ideally, you're either using a candle that's going to have a metal plate, so it's going to be heat resistant. Also, putting this on like tile or something that is going to be safer than wood is important. And what else am I missing? You know, glass encased candles, those are my go-to usually. I kind of switch it up. Sometimes I will use freestanding candles as long as I know that I'm gonna be around and I can watch them. But glass case candles are fine. So whether it's like the 3-day or the 7-day, the go-to that you can get at the Botanicas, even at the grocery store, those are great.
Ho. Ho, ho.
So for the candles today, we have blue that we have available for healing and tranquility. We have gray, or would be black, used for banishing and protecting. Green for abundance, can be used for Venus as well. White for purity and cleansing or protection. And then we've got pink, that would be for like love or romance. But there's many different candle colors. Obviously, some people have different perspectives on what candles colors you should use. Me personally, if I'm working with the moon, I'll choose white. I'll choose yellow for the sun, red for Mars, brown or orange for Mercury. Venus can be green or pink. Jupiter is orange or purple. Saturn is gray or black. Neptune is light blue or purple. And Pluto is black. So the question is, Mike, what kind of a candle do you want to make?
You know, I want to get closer with my walk with God, so I think I'm looking for something that'll help me strengthen my spirit.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking. Let's do the sex.
He wants a sex candle. I know he does, because I asked him earlier, I was like, what do you want to make? And he was like, something to strengthen my personality. I'm like, don't lie, you want a cock candle. Like, you want like the Pussy Magic candle. That's what you want.
See, she didn't say it like that. I didn't know there was a Pussy Magic
There is
candle.
a Pussy Magic candle.
Say less. Let's do
Okay,
it.
all right. So Mike wants to make a sexy time candle. So we're gonna give him the pink one. I'm gonna
listen to a lot of Justin Timberlake after
We'll do
this.
the abundance one.
Get in the mood.
So we've got all of our extra candles over here. We've got a whole mess of things on this table, so please excuse our mess. But just going over some of the tools that I use for candle magic that can be really helpful. Obviously candles, whether it's glass encased or freestanding with a candle stand.
And what is it about candles that are usually the go-to? Is it the fire burning your intent?
Well, okay, so when you think about it, right? Like me personally, I like to have a ritual that's gonna include all of the elements. So for this, you can put a little incense, burn a little incense before you do it. For air, obviously the wick is gonna be fire. You can put it next to like a vase of flowers, or you can even put it with like a little crystal, so you could include earth. I always have water on my altar, so it's like not a thing that I think about, but I always have like either a chalice or I have like a vase of flowers. But it's a nice way to kind of incorporate, at least when you think about it, fire and air, which is going to invoke, and it's going to make things happen, especially things that we want to have happen quickly. But yeah, like the candle episode could get so long, talking about the different types of candles and the different sizes. Obviously, those of you guys who are more advanced in your candle magic, maybe you're using the figure candles or you're using the knob candles that you would burn actually in increments over 7 days if you don't want to leave one burning for 7 days. I personally prefer not to blow a candle out, right? So I want to light the candle, set the intention, and then let it burn.
Let it burn.
So if you can't watch it burn safely, then consider making a series of smaller candles.
You usher that shit. You let it burn.
I try to let it burn always.
Word.
But obviously, you really want to keep an eye on some of those, because some of those glass ones can get kind of cray when they get really hot. So you don't want to leave them around anything, because sometimes they will crack. Also, we have a handy dandy pack of essential oils that we have. So we're going to talk a little bit about the properties of the metaphysical oils, or the essential oils. I also have a nice little fun mix of oils that I've collected over my travels, and some other products that I really like, and some other things that I have made personally.
So you can make oils too?
Yes, I make oils.
Into.
I make oils during eclipses. So I'll bottle specific oils with essential blends, and then I will put crystals and herbs
Are these
inside.
essential blends?
These are all of the herbs that we're going to work with today, and then these are the essential oils, and they're all labeled. So we're going to talk a little bit about what you want to create, and then choose your own adventure. So we have foil, or even working on like a baking sheet or parchment paper, just something so you don't get oil all over the place, or glitter. I mean, I just want to tell you right now, if you're doing this, just assume you're 5 years old and you're going to get shit everywhere, because that's basically what's going to happen. I like to have a little bit of sage or something to smudge with, just to like clean it before. Obviously, your magical intentions, offerings, if you have certain offerings that you want to put out with the candle, because you got to think you're asking for something.
Those are like petitions, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about petition papers,
Nice.
but offerings would be like, let's say you want to do something for Venus, and you decide that you want to give Venus flowers, or a piece of chocolate, or a glass of wine, maybe a spoonful of honey, things like that. So, when we're petitioning and we're asking source or we're asking planets for their assistance, we don't want to just take. You want to get into the habit of an even exchange. And so obviously we're not sacrificing goats here today, but we are going to be probably offering something depending on how the night goes. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, certain deities have certain things that they like. Me personally, I just get in the habit of like burning my incense, and I'll leave water and flowers out on my altar. I change things up. I'll put crystals out. Sometimes I'll leave things for specific saints, but really it's whatever works best for you. Okay, so you can burn candles, I don't know if you know this, specific days of the week depending on your intention. So here's where you can be like kind of like lazy witch, where you're like, I don't feel like waiting for a full moon, but I can definitely do something this Friday. Or you can get as like hardcore as looking months into the astrological calendar, waiting for that maybe new moon to be on your Jupiter in your career sector, and that's going to be super potent magically for setting new intentions for travel, education, expansion in your career. So when you really start combining the two, you start to realize that if you plan in advance, that is probably the best way to grow into your practice.
Right. Which is what I love so far. So far, like, successful magic comes with discipline and practice.
It's really no different. Remember in like middle school when you have to practice, what is it called? Is it like the scientific method or whatever? Like when you have like a hypothesis and then you have to test it and then you like write everything out. Same thing. So when you...
A magic journal too, right?
Yeah, so yeah, or like a grimoire, and we'll talk about that. But
Cool.
But Basically, if you're going to start doing this regularly, this is how I started, and I have a book that I've been keeping literally, I think it's been like 17 years that I've had it. I write everything out. If I'm going to do something, I put the lunar cycle, where the moon was that day, what the intention was.
The Book of Shadows.
Very specifically, the products that I used, how I burned it, how long it burned for, how it burned, and now I have like a big magical cookbook, so I know what works. So the sooner you get started in doing that, the sooner you're going to establish better relationships and understanding how the herbs work, how the oils work, what doesn't work, what blows up in your face, the list goes on.
What do you feel about, okay, so let's say I only have Friday to do a spell. And so I know that's going to favor love. Can you do it to where it's like, I want money, but if I use a love spell, then I can attract love?
Well, you can do
money?
an attraction spell, so you're bringing more of that. Just
so that's how
into
you can like blend different. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do love for career instead of just doing career.
Yeah, in theory, people would say do 2 different candles, but if you're like, it's Thursday night and a bitch only has 1 candle, you can do both. You can just do an attraction, and then you want to make the petition very specific for what you're attracting.
Okay.
So yeah, but it's interesting that you were saying like days. So Monday would be Moon Day, working with maternal stuff, emotional stuff, emotional clearing, domestic work, intuition work. Tuesday would be Mars, so that's more courage, passion, vitality, strength, and overcoming obstacles, or if you want to do war magic. Wednesday would be Mercury, so that's
Mercury.
basically about communication,
Communications.
trying to push things along, road
Getting your
opening
ex
work.
to contact you again, or your crush who you've been writing paragraphs to but won't respond. Mercury will help you.
And then you can do Thursday for Jupiter for expansion, advancement, good luck. It's a good day also to do lottery magic or any magic pertaining to games of chance. Friday obviously is Venus, so it's good for love and money. You could do like sexy time work on Tuesday for Mars, or you can do it on Friday. You could do either one. And then obviously Saturday is Saturn's day. That's like my black magic day, Saturn day. And I always work on Saturday.
I love me some Saturn. Oh, okay.
I always work on Saturn day because I'm just like, I'm Saturn based, so
I do
it.
payrolls on Saturday.
When boss moves. But
Right.
Saturn would be like ancestral work, spirit communication, talking to the dead, anything
magic.
that deals with darker magic. Definitely, that's the day to do it.
That's my specialty.
And then Sunday is the sun, so it's for vitality, joy, happiness, children, creativity.
Could you say the sun, it can apply to every other field too? It's like a generator of like vitality.
Yeah, and it's like, it's mix and match, right? So if you want to have a little bit of both in something, you can pick a day, and then obviously we're going to carve the candles. So some people like to do the glass encased ones. That's totally fine. You can take a Sharpie. That's what I do. I take a Sharpie and I will draw on the outside of the candle.
Alright.
And I'll just put my full name and my birthday, and then my intentions or the planetary symbols associated with what I'm trying to manifest.
Okay.
So obviously you can also work with planetary hours. If you don't know what that is, check it out. There's all kinds of free apps, and you can also see a little planetary hour graph online anywhere. It's really easy to find. It basically breaks down all of the 24 hours of the day into each planetary hour. So let's say you're in a crunch and you're like, I don't have 2 weeks to wait to do something. You can wait until, let's say, a Venus hour or a Jupiter hour if you wanted to do some kind of love advancement or abundance work. So you can, like I said, you can do something any day. Obviously, there's going to be better days depending on the magic that you're practicing. And you can get down to a specific day, an hour, a lunation, and like that. That's when like magic.
And you can bring
gets
your
super,
natal chart into it, and if you have like a sun conjunct your natal Jupiter, probably can like do like Jupiter style
crazy stuff once you know your chart.
That's awesome.
So new moons are new seeds. So it's great for new cycles, setting new intentions, health, wellness, love, abundance. Like that's really great for new moons. And usually you have the day of the new moon and up to 2 days after. So new moons have about 72 working hours. You don't want to do it before the new moon. That is a dark moon, and that is for banishing.
Right.
So you don't want to do it until the new moon has happened. You need the moon to grow.
And just to be clear, she means whenever the moon is even a degree
Yeah.
before the sun degree, that's still a balsamic.
You want to
phase,
wait
so
till the
you want-
moon is technically waxing.
and then starting to move.
And then full
forward.
moons are charging, completion. Full moons are about bringing something to light. It's escalating or elevating something.
Right.
Really good for charging candles, charging amulets, charging stones, decks, all kinds of stuff. But the waxing moon is used for attraction, abundance, and positivity. And the waning moon is for banishing, releasing, letting go, cord cutting, putting people in a jar, all of that fun stuff. All right, so that's my spiel. I have a little handy dandy list here of all of the different things that the essential oils represent and manifest. I put the planet and the element for most of them. So we'll talk a little bit about, like, you're gonna tell me what you want, and I'm gonna be like, okay, this is how we're gonna make it.
Where?
We're gonna carve them, and then we have like some glitter, and there's some magnetic sand. We have just paper. Actually, it's Trader Joe bags, semi-homemade. I like to use parchment paper, or I like to use brown bag paper when I'm writing intentions, or petitions, I should say. So if you want this, you can. You don't have to do a petition paper, but if you want to, it's always a good idea, so you can be very specific about what your intention is. Keep in mind that everything when it comes to writing the petition, setting up the candle, dressing the candle, it's all with intent. So as we go through it, I'm going to talk to you about how that intent is important. How you stroke the candle, sounds weird. How you stroke the candle, which direction you roll it towards, how you anoint it, and just everything revolving around that is going to energetically affect the candle. So I might seem a little OCD, but it's just because I have to handle all of you guys with like little baby wizard gloves, just so that way you know
so magic
why we're doing it.
Magic manifests what the most available means to us, right? So whatever is possible is how the magic will, like anything that's logically impossible might not happen, but like energy that flows through the least resistance, magic through whatever available means may come through. And I love how you wrote magic takes time and openness to perfect and to really, step into. So I'm very excited.
It does. And I'm going to talk about some magic stories too. If we have time, I'll talk to you guys about some stuff that's happened for me, because some very unusual experiences with magic. I've learned to just stop doing some types of magic. That's all I'm going to say.
Can you use magic to influence your mental state and?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, you can. I have found that something that's been really helpful for me is like with stuff like that, I'll have other friends do the magic for me. Like I'll switch with other people, and I'll be like, what do you want? Like, what are you trying to do that you can't? Not that you can't do yourself, but sometimes as practitioners, it's like us reading our own cards.
Right.
Like it's not an easy thing for us to do.
That's actually my passion. So I didn't realize astrology helped me do this, but what I really want to do for people are spells. Like I want people to be like, okay, this is in your chart, this is what you need. Okay, you need a love spell, you need a career spell. And then I get to work, get magic stiff, and then you tell me about the results. And you're like, oh my God, please do.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens with the candles that we make.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
Okay, so so tell me a little bit about, we're gonna do this magical consultation. Tell me a little bit about what you want from this candle.
You know what? I mean, I might change my mind to a Mercury candle because I want to operate. I want to harness like my cerebral apex. It's a very Mercurial Gemini thing. I want to be like.
Okay.
I want to harness like the most focus I can, so I can just walk up and just be like, "Hey, baby cakes, you were probably like thinking about this and that." Just kind of like the movie Limitless.
So you want to do like a more like magical candle?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. We'll do. Ooh, that one's mine.
I don't
Sorry.
not want the pussy magic though, but.
Do you want me to make you a pussy magic candle?
And then I can do the Mercury one?
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Let me make that candle.
Yes! And I was thinking too, like, maybe, because shout out to Darius, when Darius was, or the Hoodoo King was kind of teaching candle or conjuration classes, he mentioned how some people are stronger in certain fields. So maybe like you have a friend who's like a pro at the love magic, and maybe you're good at the protection magic, and then you can do like magic for each other.
I do that all the time for people because I feel like for me, I mean, there's not
The Pluto Mama.
Recently, I haven't really had to do anything. I haven't had to do anything for a while. I still put stuff out, but like I've been focusing more on intent than on ritual. I should probably be getting.
If I need to do a hex, I'm going to her.
I was telling him, I was like,
Dead this fool.
I put some stuff out for the video, and the more that I thought about it, I was like, am I really about to be like, here's some scorpions and cobwebs and snake skins? Because I was gonna pull it out, but then I was like, we're not doing that kind of magic. But
that's part 2.
Maybe in the future, if you fuck with us,
the black magic episode. Don't worry.
God, can you imagine the black? I mean, I would love a black magic episode, but okay. Yes. So you want to do something that's more like enhancing your psychic intuitiveness?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Bring it to my peak to its max.
Okay. So let's do, when you say that, I think of lavender. So grab lavender because that's gonna like really open up your third eye, and like it's great for intuition. It's a mercury oil, and it's very much associated with being able to send and receive.
Lavender is a mercury. I got mercury on my AC.
I think also what would be good would be some palmarosa oil, because it's like, that's for visions. I should have grabbed some star anise, but that's okay.
Palmarosa, like Omarosa.
And the villain.
You're fine.
Okay, so we'll use those 2. I might have some stuff in that. Actually, I do. Hand me that little handy dandy box. Thank you. Okay, so you know what would be good to be, I'll give you some Saturn oil. I don't know if I have so many magic oils. I don't have all of them here.
So those are.
But I know that this one is this one is that is a road opener oil. So that'll be good for like mercury communication. Yeah. Okay, so we'll start with those oils. And obviously you want to invoke Mercury. Is there anything else that you want to invoke for the intuition stuff, or any like deities or anything?
That's a good question.
I mean, you can say it's Elegua. If it is Elegua, it should be a black or a red candle, and it is black.
Let's do Elegua.
Okay, yeah. All right. I'll put a couple drops. I have Elegua oil in my office. I'll give you some.
Papa Legba.
Yeah, I feel like we should like insert the African music here.
Shout out to I completely forgot. I know the children of him don't drink alcohol, and he mainly wears white.
Yeah, he has 2 versions too. It's like the old man with the beard, and then also it's like he can be the younger version of the kid. So sometimes they'll give offerings of like toys and like little lollipops and candies and stuff and toys.
Oh, you're talking about Papa Legba?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna carve Mercury into that candle.
The glyph?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
So you want to carve it, just run it a little bit over here, like
Oh,
run the candle over there. And then just like, it's just my thing, I like to do this to like wake the candle up. 2 things
Magic
you can
mode.
do. You can take a little Florida water and you can rub it on your hands, and then you can just wipe the candle. You can run it through sage or whatever. I have sage and Palo Santo. And then you want to take the candle, you want to wake it up. You have to knock on it 3 times. Okay.
There's like a soul in the candle.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's waking up the spirit. So just try to carve it over this because you're gonna make a mess. There you go.
To the side, doesn't matter. Top.
Okay, so here's what I like to do. I carve in my name and then my birth date, just the numbers, and then I will carve, you can carve Mercury, you can carve Elegua, whatever you want. So while you're doing that, I'm gonna show you guys my go-to abundance candle. It's very similar to the mix that I make. I'm not gonna give you all the secret herbs and spices, but this is like my Rich Witch candle. If you guys have bought one of those for me in LA, this is my go-to. So I always use a green candle, and obviously we woke it up. And what I wanna do is carve my name and my birthday, or in your case, you wanna write yours on there. If you can't carve it, like I said, it's fine. You can do it with a marker on the outside of a glass encased candle. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but just legible for you to read it. And whatever else you want. You know, if you're doing like an abundance candle, you can draw dollar signs, you can write prosperity, health, wealth, gratitude, whatever you want.
This is awesome. And as I'm writing it, I'm gonna put my intent in it.
Yes, so you're putting your intent into it, and then once we actually dress it and we roll it, just ahead of time so you guys know, if you're doing anything that you're bringing in, you want to either pull the oils and the herbs up or you want to roll it towards you. If you're doing any banishing, clearing, anything like that, roll it away or push down. So you want to put intent as you're doing it, obviously. But for an abundance candle, I will usually carve Venus, the glyph for Venus.
Hey, hot mama.
I will also do a $sign. Sometimes I'll even take something that I call like money rice. I have like green rice tossed with a little bit of like abundance Sancha powder or even abundance oil, a little bit of cinnamon chips, and a shredded up $1 bill. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's like a big bag that I just will kind of pinch from. You can put like a piece or two on a candle. You can throw it even on the front doorstep of a business or your house. So it's kind of good to have around because it really works for both.
Beautiful.
And you can get as intricate and crazy with it as you want. Cool.
Sweet.
Health and wealth.
This is already super fun. I really feel like I'm in an arts and crafts class. Hogwarts edition.
So for the abundance candle, I'm going to, I don't want to get this everywhere, but you can kind of see. It's got Venus on there, and it's got my name and my birthday. It's kind of messy, but I am going to use, definitely, I like patchouli. I also really like doing cinnamon. And I think I have some attraction money oil. What do I have? Do I? Fast Luck. I'll use a little bit of Fast Luck. Shout out to a couple of the shops that I buy stuff from. Lucky Mojo makes awesome blends, traditional hoodoo blends. You can find them online. I picked this up at the Psychic Eye. I think I have a couple of these. They have
Shout
them,
out to Psychic Eye.
yeah,
bookshop.
they have them out here. They also have them they have one in LA.
I'm in Toys R Us when I go there.
And Island of Salvation Botanica, the best. It's in New Orleans. You got to check it out. They have a voodoo temple there. That's my favorite place to get oils. Every time I'm there, I usually come home with 5 or 6 of them. Remind me to give you some of the sex drops because that's what has to go on the candle. That's like the good stuff.
Gotcha.
All right, so our candles are carved. We are ready to put a couple shakes of our oil on there. Please be careful with essential oils. It's not something that you want to be having all over your skin for long periods of time. You need to wash your hands or rinse them afterwards because some of them can be toxic if they're left on your hands. So for the sake of this, before we put these ones on there, let's put a little bit of the cut oils. So if you want to make your own, you can make your own. Just make sure that you cut essentials with either an almond oil, an olive oil, a coconut oil, some kind of a carrier oil, so that way it is a little bit safer. So I'll put a little bit of Fast Luck on here, and then we can, there we go, for you. Okay, and then just put a couple dashes of that.
And these all go on the top.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go clockwise.
Oh, and then you actually rub them on it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Me personally, I do.
Are you gonna put all the oil or just?
So because this one is the one that's already kind of cut, it's not, I don't have to worry about it getting all over my hands. And then I'll put a couple shakes of the other ones on there. Do you want a napkin?
Sure.
I like your mom today. You wearing your beard and cleaning up after yourself?
Oh.
So I put a little bit of Fast Luck oil on here. I'm also gonna put a couple shakes of some cinnamon.
Cloud.
And also some patchouli. That's my favorite stuff to use for money, abundance, wealth, health. Smells good.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, so move these out of the way.
And as I rub it, I'm going to put the intent here.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Rubbing the candle.
All right. Get these out of the way for you. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is we want to get our herbs. And then if you want, I'll give you one of these. So when you take the candle, you can write your intention. But yeah, if you guys want to do a petition paper, you can. My recommendation is if you're using a glass candle, put it underneath, like fold this up towards you. So you want to fold it up several times if you're bringing something towards you. 2-3 times. Put this underneath a coaster and then set that on top of a coaster, or put it somewhere near. You can put it next to a crystal or something, just so it's next to the candle, charging the intentions. I like to use pen or Sharpie. That's just me because I feel like it sends a statement that it's permanent. Definitely not a pencil person, so think about the color and also the type of pen that you're using when you write. There's all kinds of really great information about different types of petition papers for love or all different types of things on Lucky Mojo. Their forums are awesome. It's one of my favorite places and probably what has been one of the best resources for me for my candle stuff. So we have these herbs here. I'm trying to keep them in order so that way we don't get confused. All right, so yeah, a little bit about this. Thank you. I'll put this here so I guess people can see a little bit better. So we have angelica, we have some ash in here, basil, catnip, cedar, cinnamon, this is red clover, chamomile, dill.
I feel like I'm learning a new language.
Five-finger grass, also known as also witchgrass. This is hops, hyssop, jasmine. This is juniper berries, lavender, lemon, mint, mugwort, orange, patchouli, rose, rue, and this is no, rosemary's not here. I didn't have rosemary. Sorry. Sage and salt. This is some sea salt that's mixed with some black salt, so it's good for protection. And this is yarrow. Obviously, you can use whatever you want. This is just something that I threw together that I thought would be a fun mix. Maybe we'll do another episode where I talk about all my other stuff that I have at some point. But I like to collect herbs. I feel like it's the best way to do it because especially when you start making candles and you're like, I need this oil, I need this herb. Like you'll get into the habit of buying something and then you're like, I'm buying all of these materials for one candle. So you'll realize that it makes sense and it's a lot more efficient for you to just start collecting stuff, even if it's in little Ziplocs or any like little jars and stuff.
This seems like seasoning and spicing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's very, very similar. So you want to enhance your intuition. So we have a little bit of lavender oil on there. Something that I would say that you can put on there that can be good for that would definitely be.
You still got me on the pussy magic though.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make that for you. Don't worry, for sure.
Wait straight.
So how about a little bit of mint, because that's good for mental clarity. So you can put a little pinch of that on top.
Do I rub that down?
So here's what I want you to do. Just put a little small pinch of it on top, and then put a pinch here, and I'm gonna have you roll the candle at the end so we get the herbs all over it. Something else that can be really good for like intuition, dreaming, sleep, like opening up your intuition is hops. So I think that would be a good one for you to use. That's this right there.
Gotcha. Same thing, a little bit on the top and a...
Yeah. Okay. And for like the courage to open up and be able to see more, or just like the willingness, I think maybe to like be like that
My intent
open.
is to be limitless.
Okay, then
At an intellectual or
use a
spiritual
little
level.
bit of yarrow for that. Yeah, it's also good for like courage, hex breaking. That's another thing that it's good for. And you can't have like an intuition candle without using mugwort. That's definitely my favorite. I know like a couple like, I don't know, like witchy homegirls, they love mugwort. They will smoke it. You can smoke it with lavender. You can smoke it even with like
You can
rose.
actually smoke it.
Yeah, you can do it like before like ritual stuff because it just like opens you up. So you want to use a little pinch of, where is it? Let's see, there's so much stuff here.
Yarrow, you said?
Yeah, you used yarrow, so it's that. You want to use this one, mugwort. Where is it? No, mugwort. It's next to the orange. Oh, here you go. This one.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's like a mix that I have. It's like a psychic mix, but it's got a bunch of that in there. There's some Damiana in there too, actually, which is kind of sexy.
Nice.
What else would be good for that? Maybe something that's going to be like protecting as well. So maybe put like a small pinch of that salt in there.
Can't go wrong with salt. Okay. Boom.
And definitely 5-finger grass, right? You have to have some of that because that's about obtaining what you want. So you want some of this.
Nice 5-finger grass. All right. Word.
All right. So then for my candle, for the abundance or wealth, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to definitely use, well, let's do a little bit of basil because it's good for abundance. It's good for luck. Definitely you want some cedar because it's like earthy. And one of my favorite things actually is, this is super East Coast magic. So if you're like in, you know, New York or like that area,
East Coast magic.
They will take the bigger like glass pull-out jars and you can, you know, use the candle, you can anoint it, put all your herbs, and you can even put the herbs at the bottom of the glass and then you slide the candle in and then you light it. That's my favorite way to do these types of candles. So if you have a big enough glass, even putting some of the herbs on the bottom is a-okay. So we've got a little bit of basil, I've got some cedar. I want some cinnamon chips because cinnamon chips can also be good for abundance. And I'll do a little bit of orange, obviously, because orange is really good for money magic. Might have to push these in. Hopefully they stay. We'll see. And then I will do, I like rose, because rose can be good for like attracting that or people who have abundance. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty good for me. We put the fast luck oil on there. Do you want some glitter?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Does it make it sparkle?
I mean, yeah, that's the point. So you have intuition, so maybe like a silver.
Cool.
And I will do a green and gold.
Do you put all the excess together and then roll it
Yeah,
together?
you can like mix it together because we're just gonna try to roll a little bit. It may or may not stay, it just depends. Usually I'll be working in an environment where I can like really push the candle into the herbs, or I'll grind them up before I use them, which they're pretty ground up, but we don't want to get too crazy. Another thing that you guys can do is like if you get a candle with a really long wick, it may not burn as well, especially if you're somebody who's into reading how the candle burns. So it may be a good idea to trim the wick before you light it. It's part of like the clearing process.
Sweet.
You want to open that baggie up. So that's magnetic sand.
Oh, wow.
So this is like one of the goodies that I like to use, especially for attraction work. You can get it at most like botanicas or even like apothecaries. It's a magnetic sand.
This is thorough.
You can use these with lodestones too. So if you're somebody who has a lodestone on your altar, it's like a magnetic stone, and you can pour this all over it so it attracts abundance and it attracts money or love, or you can get them in pairs, especially for love magic.
So a lot of this is like symbolic representations of what we want spirit to do with the physical.
And because a lot of these also have the planetary connections, you're working with the color and the plants, and also the oil is going to have planetary aspects that are going to be enhancing the candle as well. And then you take into consideration the day that you burn it, it's real magic.
Once again, like I'm very fascinated with this because with just intent alone, I've manifested what I want. So I feel like this extra step just like grounds the intent and just adds more consistency and accuracy to it.
So, obviously I would recommend if you want to burn that candle to do it, you can do it tonight because it's after a new moon, so the moon's growing and it's a Wednesday. Or you can burn it on Saturday if you want to do that and give some offerings for ancestors. Maybe put out some water, some flowers. You can put out some tobacco. They like tobacco. Or
I got Martinaries. I'm doing it tonight for sure.
Okay.
I thought we were going to do it now, actually, but...
We can if you want, but you're going to have to put it out, and then it won't be
light it
as
again.
magical.
Oh, instead of just one,
Yeah.
right? I got you.
But I'll make you, you're going to go home with two, don't worry. Sweet. So before we get messy, just a couple books that I pulled out that I thought would be really helpful for...
So we're preparing the candle before. That's awesome. Do you think one would be able to, like, prepare candles and then send them to people so that they can light it and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, that's what's up. That's
I look at people's charts and they tell me what they need, and then I make it for them. Or I make and I tell them when to burn it, or baths, or how to use the oils, or where to anoint themselves. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So a couple books that might be helpful for the new baby witch or wizard or warlock, if that's what you're into. The Green Witch by Aaron Murphy Hiscock. It says Hiscock. Okay.
Oh,
That's
nice.
I didn't realize that until now.
That was ballsy.
This is fun, all natural magic. Lots of great stuff in here about plants and flowers, and also different things that you can do with like kitchen magic. So it's kind of cool, kitschy. This is my Bible, Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs by Scott Cunningham. He is the OG. One of the best books that you're going to find for this stuff. It is, an oldie but goodie. You can look up all of the different plants, vegetables, herbs, all kinds of stuff, flowers. It'll tell you what it's ruled by, how to use it, and how it's used in magic. And it'll also give you the folk names, which is kind of cool. And in the back, the reference is great. It breaks it down by magical intent or planet. So that's cool. Also by Mr. Cunningham, Incense, Oils, and Brews. This is a great book for learning how to make your own stuff. I've used it mostly for oils and oil blending.
That's awesome.
But you can do all kinds of magical brews and concoctions and incense. So this is awesome. He's one of my favorite authors for all that metaphysical stuff. And this is also one of my Bibles, the Hoodoo Herb and Root Magic book by, Catherine Ironwood. She's amazing. This one of my best favorite books ever. I will read this. I think I've gone through about 3 copies. I always end up like losing it, leaving it on a plane, or giving it to someone. And I got this in this last year, and I was very excited, and I was actually really blown away by how just complete this is. This is an actual woman's full magical book. Grimoire for the Green Witch by Anne Mora.
Green Witch is like a herbal witch.
Yes,
Okay.
but amazing chants, intentions, all kinds of stuff for spell casting and things that are more kind of like pagan ritual magic. One of my favorites. So just an idea of some of the books that you can pick up if you want to get more so into this stuff. But there's lots of free resources at luckymojo.com. Their forum and everything is awesome. All the information you can buy in their books are actually on their website, so it's really great. All right, so last thing, hopefully these stay, we'll see, because this is kind of sticky. We can just roll the candle, so you want to roll it to you.
I was worried it would come off on the top, but okay, it's pretty sticky.
There we go. Arts and crafts. And yeah, like sometimes I'll make them in advance and have them ready. I'll usually make sure it's in the same moon sign. So the way that I see it is when you start making the candle, that's part of the intention. So in some cases, actually waiting to do the magic when the planets align or when the moon aligns is the better way to go.
You can like beforehand like chant and pray.
Yeah,
and strengthen it, right?
yeah. So usually what I'll do is then once I've dressed my candle, I'll sit for a little bit and I'll meditate, or I'll chant, or I'll write out my intent and fold it all up and put it next to my candle, put out some flowers, put out magnets, things for money, magnets, lodestones, citrine, anything that deals with attraction. I like working with copper, but you can also use things like, keys, right? For road opening or for unlocking potentials or any symbols or anything symbolic of that planet that you're working with.
If you're an artist, you can make a song or write a poem.
Yeah, I mean,
out of your own
it's super. It's going to be very personal, depending on, you know, your belief system and how you practice. But there you go. There's your candle.
Woo! This feels magical. Fuck that. AF.
You're gonna have to let me know how it burns. You're also gonna have to let me know how the one I'm gonna make you burns, because that's gonna be interesting. You have to let me know what happens.
Yeah, I will.
Probably gonna have like stray women at your front door or something.
Candace did hook me up with like a mini candle beforehand for the eclipse, and it worked in a way I didn't expect, because it was a Gemini eclipse, so it like changed my whole mindset. It was supposed to be like a quick love spell, and that changed my whole mindset on love, and it kind of like released the blocks that I had. So
intention is everything, and that's the one thing that you guys want to know about the magic. Like, the herbs are fun, the sparkles, the carving, the colors, obviously, like everything has an intention. But if you are somebody that's like, I only work with white candles and I just use the herbs and the oils of my choice, totally fine. Actually, 9 times out of 10, unless there's something really significant going on in my chart or in terms of like a lunation, I just buy like those big, the little regular size, but I've been buying like the big tea lights. So I'll take those and actually heat them up in a pan, and then I'll put the oil and the herbs inside and then let them reset up, and then I'll burn them. Especially if I don't want to leave something burning for 7 days. So I'll make a couple at a time, so I have those candles made in advance. So that's something else that you can do. But obviously these are more fun, and these are a little bit more magical.
And like I said before, magic is about like, it takes time and openness. So, you know, I could have been attached to, I burned this candle and there's no one in my life. Like, even though, you know, I got to do my own part too, but, you know, realistically, my mindset changed to a point where like now, where it was blocked before, like it just changed the way I open and accept it, which isn't what I was expecting.
That's how it works. Like sometimes when you ask for something specifically, it's like getting the tower card and being like, why did I get the tower card? It's like, because you need to clean shit up before you get what you're asking for.
Exactly, yeah.
So when you are practicing magic, obviously keep that in mind. Intention is everything.
Be open to receiving what you didn't think you want, but needed to.
And be specific.
Be
specific, because if you're not, you can make things happen, you can make things show up or manifest, but you always want to think about the consequences. So it's like, even for me, when I'm doing abundance work, I'll be like, okay, it needs to come from a positive source. I don't want to manifest $1,000 and then like get rear-ended and then get an insurance check.
Right.
So think about that for every action, there's a reaction, and the threefold law is very much a real thing. So
and through an available means. So I remember I put in an intention where I was just like, I want $1,000 because I want to make it to a certain person's convention who was in Vegas at the time, and I was offering a monthly service, and like I remember I was complaining to Spirit, like, you guys never answer my prayers, what the hell? Like, I put this intention out. And like, as soon as I finished acting like a child, I look at my phone and I see $1,000 because someone bought that monthly service. And I was like, oh shit. And that was the first time anyone ever ordered it too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, this one. It was a book I read that's like, give the universe 48 hours, put in an intention. Word like that. And it worked. And that was without candles. So like, with candles, I know it's gonna be legit, so.
Well, intention is everything, and hopefully this was fun for you and you learned a little bit of something new. Maybe we'll do more of it in the future, but this was like a kind of like compact version of crash course candle making. Hopefully you guys liked the episode. Let us know if you made a candle below, or if you have any other ideas or recommendations for videos we can make. We appreciate your support. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching.
Ho, ho, ho.
And we will see all of you guys very soon. Take care.